Hello, and welcome to the Clonestar Podcast. I'm your host, Jodi Pickens, and today we're talking about the brand new official Star Trek audio drama, Khan, out now and releasing new episodes weekly. At the heart of Khan's legacy is not only his own ambition, but also those who crossed his path. Fans will remember Lieutenant Marla McGivers from the original series episode Space Seed, where her choices bound her fate to Khan's in ways that still echo through Trek lore. In this new audio drama, McGivers' story is reimagined and expanded, brought to life by the immensely talented Wrenn Schmidt. You'll know her from For All Mankind, Boardwalk Empire, The Looming Tower, and Outcast. Schmidt's work is known for its emotional honesty, subtlety, and the way she conveys quiet strength even in the most high-stakes moments. Now, she brings that same layered approach to McGivers, giving voice to a character who has always been as complex as she is pivotal. I had the chance to sit down with Wrenn for a conversation about revisiting Marla McGivers, exploring who she is and what it means to be the romantic interest of one of the most notorious villains in Trek. Here's that interview. Well, thanks for the opportunity to speak with you, Wrenn. This is exciting. I think Trek fans are going to be excited about this new audio drama with Khan. So,
I think so too. I'm not like a Star Trek expert, but when I saw that first episode where Marla's introduced, I was like, how have they never done more with this before? She's fast. Like, they're both fascinating.
Right. She does get kind of left there, doesn't she, after that episode? Like, there's a lot of unanswered questions around her.
Yeah. It just seems so ripe for, like an epic journey to
right.
To the two of them and all of the augments on SETI Alpha 5 in between that and Wrath of Khan.
Right. So if you had to describe Marla McGivers in 3 words for today's fans, what would you choose?
Jodi! One thing about that. I might have to come back around.
That's fine. I mean, I like to lead with the easy questions, obviously. So
Right. Hold on. Can I give you the first thing that came to mind was this is 2 words, but dry wit.
Yeah.
That idealist and super nerd.
Yeah. I think those all apply to her.
Yeah, but that's just like my first pass, and we might have to edit that later.
That's fine. If it hits you, just let me know. We'll take it.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if there were moments in the script where you felt her perspective connects, powerfully with these contemporary themes of like questions of loyalty and identity and even power.
Absolutely. I think one of the things that really resonated, kind of coming back to it. And, when you're in something and you're really working scene to scene, you're not necessarily like asking those bigger questions because, most of the time, when a person's in a thing, they're not like thinking about the bigger, you're not like trying to zoom out and, it's kind of more after the fact. And I definitely found that to be the case thinking back on this, about how like it all feels apropos to now, in a way.
Right.
And like how Kirsten and the rest of the writing team write this. And it's so relatable to like things that are happening now. Not just like loyalty, but also of othering another group, and fear about an unknown other group, or creating kind of like an idea in your mind about, what that other group will be or what they'll do. I feel like all of those things are like it's part of why I think this, why I think the series and the story and the character are so interesting, is because like all of those big questions are layered into this love story.
Right. Because in the end, that's kind of where it began, right? Yeah. Like That's where the whole
Yeah, it's an adventure. To me, it's like an adventure and a love story. Like dropping a of people on a completely like wild unknown planet and saying like, figure it out,
right. Here you go.
Yeah. Then you add in, this, I don't know, once in a lifetime leader, really incredible and extraordinary. And this historian that is fascinated with him and also fascinated by like witnessing history in real time and knowing she's doing that, and also kind of enamored with him. Like it's all pretty incredible and wild that they're doing that in like a 9-episode podcast series.
Right. I mean, she's complex, and the story is very layered between the two of them, even outside of the greater context of what's going on.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a really interesting relationship. And that's also another thing that immediately drew me to this project, both in seeing the origin story, which I thought was like really ahead of its time for like 1960s TV show. And I thought those performances were also really incredible. I was like totally fascinated by that episode. And then I don't know, it just feels like you've got these two people, one augment, one human, coming at things from such a different perspective, but yet there being like just enough interest and trust somehow to like keep going. It's really, really amazing.
So I have to ask the question you've probably been asked 1,000 times, but were you into Star Trek before this? Were you aware of the Trek world?
I was, but not like in a super meaningful way. Like I grew up like watching Reading Rainbow, so of course it was like LeVar Burton is so amazing, and also we get to watch some TV in school. That's so cool. And then I was like a latchkey kid once I was like in 5th, 6th grade, and so I would occasionally like Star Trek would be on. Like we didn't have cable or anything, so I would like watch it and be totally fascinated by all of, like the prosthetic work and like, I don't know, just like take it like that's an alien. That's what they imagine an alien to be, and what's happening between these people. And then of course, Data. By Data or Data? I can't remember.
Data. We prefer Data.
But also I later worked with Brent Spiner, and it was like, oh my gosh, Data, that's Data. I mean, I know you're playing this other here, but you're Data. Yeah, I have early memories of that iteration when Brent Spiner and LeVar Burton were in it. And yeah. And then coming to it like as an adult, I feel like I don't know. I almost feel like maybe even like deeper level of respect, because it's I feel like it relates so much to like our contemporary world, even though it's placed in the future. And it's also just really exciting stories. Like it's just really entertaining.
Right.
So, this is like my first real rodeo, like of really like getting into it.
Well, I mean, it's not a bad place to land in the Star Trek universe with one of the most iconic, names and villains and characters for the entire fandom. So
totally. And I'm like, how did they not do more Khan until now? So crazy. Also, I'm so glad they waited.
It worked out for you, I think, really well, actually.
Yeah, so too.
So, I mean, obviously in the Trek universe, we're big sci-fi fans. So now we've got For All Mankind, obviously, that is a big part of for you as a character player. And now with this Khan, so that's two. I mean, there are other sci-fi franchises out there to go for the trifecta here. Do you see that happening? I mean, that would be a big deal in the sci-fi world.
I mean, I'm really open to it. I don't feel like as soon as you start making plans,
Oh, sure.
Entirely. But I feel like every sci-fi thing I've been involved in, I'm in a film called Xeno that's coming out, starring, Mari Hardwick and Paul Schneider. And that was really exciting because the Jim Henson Company was involved in creating one of the characters. And seeing that come to life was really incredible. I'm, like on set with like the actor playing that character inside. So I can't wait to see like what it looks like all put together. And then also working on Robert Kirkman's Outcast.
Oh, nice.
Many moons ago, but still like was my first kind of like foray into something that was like really a genre thing. But I don't know. I think sci-fi stuff is so interesting. There's so much opportunity for, I don't know, to really go wild places. And if you can connect it to a thing that's like really relatable to, I don't know, everyday folks and things that we all grapple with, it's just so fun.
I think, sci-fi in particular, but Trek especially has always been more than just about the genre. I think it's ultimately about people and how they interact with others and each other. But I was wondering what portraying Marla McGivers has taught you, either as an actor or personally, that you'll carry beyond the role.
I mean, one of the things that I really loved about playing her and love about her as a character is that she's got some kind of like internal compass that makes her keep fighting for connecting with others and really like finding a way to meet each other and stay open to other people's ideas. Like I really do think she's genuinely curious, or she's genuinely open to having her mind changed. Like it doesn't, like her way of thinking doesn't feel calcified to me, and neither does Khan's, especially when it's just the two of them talking. In some ways, I think there is a little bit of calcification that really drives the series in the latter half that has to do with how the augments were treated on Earth and why there's this lack of trust. But I really loved that if you take that and then also marry it to like her idealistic side, who sees like the part of sees the possibility of what humanity can do and the ways in which like humanity can evolve and maybe even rise above some of the more fractured moments in time or just like devastating conflict. Or even the way she talks about, there's like a moment, I can't remember what episode it's in, but she's talking about how humanity, like there was a scientist that invented something for one thing and it ended up being used for something else entirely. I don't know. I mean, it really does feel to me like she's someone that just believes wholeheartedly in possibility and about and in the like goodness that one can find in almost anyone, except with maybe the exception of Ivan. But yeah, I don't know. She just seems to be like an extraordinarily resilient and compassionate and brave, and also like she's someone that just does not give up.
I mean, definitely a character we could stand to hear more from in the current environment of the world, right?
Yeah, I think so. And that she's literally like, I feel like there's so many moments in the series that I loved where she was fighting for there to be like some sense of understanding or some sense of like not just reacting, but second, and really trying to not see something or someone else as other, but actually like, no, give it a shot. And there's stuff I wish I could talk about that happens later. But where it's like, actually like, she's like, I am a huge asset to you. I actually know that something fruitful can come from this, but you got to give me some space to do it. Yeah.
She's definitely has a stronger will and persistence than I think we expect.
Yeah. And I think I also love that in circumstances in which I think a lot of people would understand if she did give up, that she doesn't.
Right.
I mean, like people are really shitty to her. And I love that she's like, yeah, I'm going to win you over. I think that was like one of the things that Kirsten and Fred said to me a number of times is like, yeah, she doesn't come in from a place of like being down about it. She's like, no, I'm just, you got to get to know me. Then you're going to love me.
Yeah.
I'm not giving from you. You're going to think I'm awesome. Just not ready to come to the party yet, but
right. They'll get there.
Yeah.
I think fans are really going to see her differently, after hearing this story.
I think so too. I definitely think so too.
Yeah. I think it'll be, well, we love new Trek. And I think getting new Trek in an audio drama is special because we haven't had that a lot in our universe. So, and like I said, you put Khan on something and people are going to flock to it. So it's good. I did want to ask if Marla had access to today's social media, would she be posting as, the like Starfleet art selfies, or would she secretly be running a Khan fan account?
I definitely do not think she'd be posting the Starfleet selfies. I feel like she'd be like a really incredible strategist. So maybe some version of like slowly walking people towards something different or a different perspective about Khan. Like that essentially like he is misunderstood. There wasn't enough that people knew about him before people kind of like jumped to a conclusion. So I don't know. I feel like she would be almost like a incredible right-hand like PR person that'd be like working behind the scenes that you wouldn't necessarily know was there, but that would really be fighting to I don't know. You know what it just occurred to me is that there's the moment that was dramatized in The Crown in which like the queen like first appeared speaking directly to camera, or like the royal family like sat down for like an in-person like and there was something, I think it was actually maybe just her, I can't remember exactly, but it was definitely a thing that like was fought against like in the beginning, because it was like, we've never done this, that's not what we do, people think of us being here because we don't give them that, and the fact that there's been someone pushing for the royal family to like humanize themselves and to become more relatable, or to be a little bit more like Diana in connecting with people. And I feel like Marla McGivers would fall into that camp of like, you actually could create a lot of goodwill, and if you just do that, I feel like she'd be that person. Whoever mastermind, that's who she'd be.
And she's definitely someone who not only just has one plan, but she's got a plan for the plan. The plan. And I think that's unique, and it's unique for the relationship with Khan, and he clearly sees that too, so it's fun. I am thrilled to have you as part of this Trek universe, and I think fans are going to fall in love with this audio drama series, so I am excited for everybody to hear it, and I really thank you for your time today.
Thanks, it was nice chatting with you.
And that wraps up my conversation with Wrenn Schmidt about stepping into the role of Lieutenant Marla McGivers in Star Trek Khan. From her very first appearance in Space Seed, McGivers has been one of the most debated figures in Trek history, a Starfleet officer whose choices and her relationship with Khan continue to spark questions decades later. This new audio drama gives her story new depth and new context, and Wrenn's performance makes her feel more alive than ever. Khan is out now and releasing new episodes weekly, so if you haven't started listening, now's the perfect time to jump in and follow along as the story unfolds. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you're subscribed to the Clonestar Podcast for more interviews, reviews, and deep dives into Trek's past, present, and future. Thanks for listening, and as always, live long and prosper.